Good morning, everybody. What's happening? I know, Snorlord, my friends who are supportive might make me a track that might be heavy enough. Just saying. Just saying. Good morning, guys. I hope you're rocking out there. Had a great, start to your Monday morning. I know I went live yesterday. I know I went live the other night from the campfire. But you know what? I'm home. The world's moving a little slower over here, and why not take advantage of that and create some more content? So, Wheel Burner Express. I saw your little video this morning. Wheel Burner made a video like, I'm sick of all of our friends and all of their channels, and I'm looking for more stuff, and check out these guys. I love you. And you forgot about me, but that's okay. Maybe I don't, I try to talk about trucking. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But I love you, Brian, and I love when you get fired up. Like, I love your passion. It is so fun about you. Like, that is the one of the things I love about you. So, anyways, Don Schonger, good morning. He is first. Jerome Jones channel member is second. He says, let's go. I'm doing a follow-up. I'm doing an after Jackknife video because I just watched his video. And WCF Invader asked me if I was going live. And I did try to go live this morning from the shop because I was trying to be cool like that. But my daughter literally got there in 2 seconds to pick me up. So it kind of screwed up the whole thing. So if you got in there this morning, it was early. It was like 6:48, something like that. 58, something like that. I apologize. Okay. Wheelburn Express channel member is saying holla ha. I know he's driving. And he got all fired up and did a great little video. And so I was like, all right, well, I know Wheelburner's driving, so I'm going to try to give him something this morning. I'm having a little bit of almond milk. Unsweetened, a little weird tasting, but Cheap Freight Hauler channel member is in the house saying good morning, everyone. And Snorlord, the metalhead Viking caveman trucker. My favorite safety manager in the whole wide world is in the house. And he's whining about my intro music. Well, here we go. We can keep the same intro, but I'll need to ask you to supply Mr. Red Lady with a soundtrack, and then he can swap it out and then send me that one, and you got it. Just for you, Snorlord. Austin Lloyd is in the house. Hi, you're looking good. Yeah, I'm back in my trucker gear, right? This is what I look like out on the street, when I'm working. I had this on yesterday, but it's a nice Michigan chilly morning. Got up early this morning. Enjoyed my wonderful night's sleep in my own bed. I have a nice, expensive, one of those Tempur-Pedic beds. It's always glorious to come home and sleep in that. Austin says, he missed you out, meanie so-and-so. Uh-oh, Wheelburner, you're getting cussed out by Austin right there. I like the way you cuss, Austin. That's awesome. That sounds like something I would totally say. Sterling Wheel channel member is in the house saying Wheel Burglar Express didn't mention my channel either. I cry. Oh, Wheel Burner, double spanky. Here we go. What did he say? Wheel Burner Express channel member says, Managed to get in and out of Philly this morning unscathed. Should be able to deliver around 3 o'clock this afternoon back in Ontario. Can we say killing it? Yeah, you are rocking out there. I know you're feeling great being back behind the wheel of your truck, your machine. I know you enjoy your time at home as well, but you know, you got that white line fever just like the rest of us. Jackknife is in the house. Hi, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the like on the way in if you haven't already. I'm sipping on some almond milk right now. I had my cup of coffee super early, so we're not doing coffee again. I gotta choke this down. It's the unflavored kind. Organic unflavored. So it's very nutty tasting, but this is why we're only like having a half a cup. Yeah, Jackknife just did a little live video. He was passing some time, so I was hanging out over there. Don Schonger says, "Wait a minute, isn't there only one safety driver manager?" Well, yeah, that's the funny part. But you know, he is my favorite. I'm trying to be like the biggest Snorlord fan that there is. And if Wife Lord had a channel, I would be her biggest fan too. I'm already a fan of Wife Lord, but she doesn't like the camera, I don't think, and that's totally cool because I love her anyways. And you know, we all know that when you have a wonderful woman in your life, she is the wind beneath your wings. So aside, behind, in front of, aside, underneath, over, whatever, next to every great man is a great woman. So, see, that's what makes Snorlord so cool, is Wife Lord. You know, and now the nuptials will be coming soon for Mr. Red Lady. Right there. Sterling will be joining in matrimony the Red Lady herself. And that's going to be exciting, right? Is it this year or is it next spring? I get excited. I don't think it's this year. I think it's next spring. Now that I remember. Anyways, we got weddings, we got babies, we got trucking, we got trucks in the shop right now. Man, there's a lot going on. We got rates a little bit better. We got more fuel expense, maybe a little bit worse. You know, there's never a dull moment. So I want to talk about trucking today because I feel like Wheelburner's hungry for some good trucking channel talk. And I want to get up to par so that I can be included on that list next time he says it. You know, I'm just yanking your chain, Wheeler. Wheelburner actually has been a great supporter of my channel, everybody. And it's okay. Snorlord says, yay. WCF Invader says, sweet. There's my favorite female, not OnlyFans trucker. Yes, not OnlyFans. Thank you for saying that. Let's make that clear. Jackknife TV says, oh man, you're in Philly, dang it, and I'm down in North Carolina. I wouldn't mind saying hi to you, Will Burner. You got to catch him, Jackknife. He moves fast. Mr. Red Lady, channel member, says, how long of an intro? Suggestions? He's not whining about the length of the intro. He is whining about the music is not too heavy. Okay? So my suggestion is that he maybe send you an appropriate soundtrack to put behind the current intro that you so beautifully made for me, Sterling. Wheel Burner Express channel member says at Jackknife TV, I do my damnedest to get in and out of Philly as fast as possible. Right. And as early as possible in the morning. But dude, I would love to hang out with you sometime. Yeah, you got to catch that Wheel Burner. I was very fortunate to be able to catch Wheel Burner for some food. And thank you, Mr. Red Lady, for sponsoring that dinner with me and Nomadic Brit and Wheel Burner. That was super cool. I wish we'd have had more time, Brian. I really do. We could have gone somewhere and shot some pool and just like hung out and passed a day. Like that would have been awesome. I it sucks sometimes being in such a hurry, right? When we can catch up with each other. That's a bummer. That's a bummer to me. I like to hang out, so because I run all the time. So Snorlord says, that said, the conditions that almonds have to live in during their short lives being milked is horrible. I mean, it's a great thing though, right? It's a milk substitute, so I'm grateful because milk isn't milk anymore for the most part. Jackknife says, well, if you're picking up somewhere around their Wheel Burner, I'll be up in Pottsville, Hazleton area off I-81 at 5 or 6 today. It only goes two ways with a trucker wife. She is either wind beneath your wings or she is a foot upon your head holding you underwater. LOL. Lucky for me, mine is windy. Yeah, Wheel Burner, you're another one, right? You're a great man and you're successful, like Snorlord, and you guys coincidentally both have fantastic women at home, and you've learned to appreciate that, right? Good deal. And Jeffrey Lake and DIY and Cassius King and Fate Trucking, right? And Jackknife. Holy crap. Don't let me leave Jackknife out. And WC. You know what? Probably all you guys. You are, it's important to have a good partner. Okay. In life, in business, all of that. WCF Invader says the suspense is killing me. Did they diagnose your EPU AC issues? He's dying over there. RGB channel members in the house saying good morning. Wheel Burner says there will be another day, ShannAn, I promise. I want to come up to the house, man. Sit around your campfire with you guys and the family. Wheel Burner says to Jackknife, I will be delivering back up in Canada this afternoon, and then I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but I should be back down in Philadelphia probably Wednesday. Okay. Bull of the Woods is in the house. Top of the morning. Yes, it is. And that's why I'm here. This is what's going on. Somebody send me a super chat. Oh, yes. Sterling Wheel, known in this channel as Mr. Red Lady. He is super chatted $4.20. Thank you, Mr. Red Lady. It says ShannAn metal intro tomorrow. Okay. What's important is that Snorlord's happy, okay? He will be excited. He will not mind watching my intro with me and Dee Dee because it'll have some metal music behind it, right? Welcome in, you guys. Hit the like. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I just read your super chat, Mr. Red Lady. Don't be nagging. Just play it. WCF Invader says, my EPU is having the same issue as yours. Might have saved me a trip to the shop. That's why I'm so curious. I know. Okay, so here's the deal. We don't have the diagnosis yet. I am sitting here trying not to go nuts, trying to stay busy at the house, forgive my sheet behind me. Like, this is super ghetto. I understand that. But we're in transition of window coverings right now, and it's temporary. This isn't our normal style. So don't judge us, okay? It's a temporary thing, but the sun, this is a very large window. So the sun really beats in there. And in order, we don't have central air. So in order to control the temperature in here, this was my daughter's idea. Yeah, I know you're going to tell me to, Shannon, just buy a curtain, have a sun. I know. I will. Okay. So that's that. Mr. Red Lady says, you'll see 3 versions on the members only side of my channel. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind putting it up for a vote, right? We could do a poll. We'll do that on my live after you do that. And I say, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll do a poll, something like that. So here's what happened. Shape World is in the house. Good morning, Shape. Umberto's in the house. I'm about to tell you, Go Truck Yourself is in the house. Wheel Burner is also in transition. Okay, so I got up this morning. There is a shop. There is an international dealership 2.1 miles away from my house. Fabulous. They have some very, very, very knowledgeable dudes in there. I mean, after one conversation this morning, I was thrilled because now I'm talking to someone who's talking the language versus the last people I told you guys about acted like, oh, it's a new truck. We don't know nothing about it completely. Okay. So I did have a brief conversation with them about it before because you got to leave it there. They're like, okay, we're really trying to get it in today, but you're going to have to leave it here. And then we got to call you. Okay. I gave him Jeff's numbers. I gave him my numbers. I'm like, okay, had my daughter come get me. I was about to do a live, then a short one. But then my daughter was already there. She ran me back to the house and then went off to work. So I got back to the house. So that's a great thing. So he looked at it real quick and he said, yeah, that's an air conditioning unit. Okay. Excitement number 1. We have confirmed that I do have an air conditioning unit that I can run and keep my truck from idling. How much fuel I've wasted, how many hours I've had to idle. OMG. So, and me and Jeff confirmed it. Jeff stopped by yesterday and, I said, Jeff, look at this. He said, yeah, I know. Jeff's like, I bought it. Like, I know what I got. So anyways, it's there. Faith picked me up. I am awaiting the call. Now they will call Jeff first because he's on the paper. He's on the thing. And they are going to call me when they have an idea of what we're looking at and to tell me exactly what we're looking at. When he looked at it briefly, he was talking about, well, it really could be something simple. He said, but there's no guarantees. I said, I understand there's no guarantees in trucking no matter what, right? And so then he rambled on about, it could be a wire. It could be just a connection. It could, he said, those are sealed systems. So it's not that it has to be charged with Freon because they're sealed systems. And he said, it doesn't seem like there's a leak. So I wouldn't assume that it's leaked out or anything like that. But he said, I really have no idea. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't give you an idea because it really has to be checked through. Well, we hear that at every shop, right? So I left and it's there and I'm here. And I was excited to watched Snorlord when I got here, and then I made a little breakfast. And that's where we are right now. So we're going to learn, guys, on this issue. And, you know, I've been talking to Cassius King and putting it out there for DIY and Fate. And you guys, like, right, talking about all of this. And Fate had a live last night and it was brought up. And so now he drives an international as well. And he still thinks I may want to invest in something, an additional unit to help cool the truck. But this is what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to allow this to happen. It is under warranty. Okay. I did finish the 34 yesterday home. I got home Saturday evening. So technically I could have left and ran loads this morning, but there's not a more convenient spot than to do this right now. Right. So that I can leave again and get out for a few weeks. So we're taking the sacrifice to do this right now. I'm going to let this run its course. Of course, I'm going to get back out on the road. And then we're going to run a test so that I can video vlog this and we can learn this together. Okay? Just like the guys do the reviews on the air conditioning units, we're going to do a review on the EPU in the International. And so, of course, WCF Invader, I will keep you posted when we get a call about what the situation is. But right now, I'm in that waiting period, trying to keep myself occupied. Will Burner says, hey, why the hell not? I already got the long, beautiful legs. Settle down with that. Umberto is in the house and he says, I'm listening but can't comment because he's driving in Nebraska. Good man, Umberto. Stay busy. Snorlord says, ShannAn, I have a truck I'll sell you. Just think, you could have a spare truck. How fun is that? The APU even works. And as a bonus, I will throw in a song, a guitar pick, a sticker, and I will even sign the table. I love it. I just sent you a picture. Snorlord sent me a picture. Let's see what it is. I'm not on duty. Oh, they must have moved my truck in there to test it, huh? All right. Thank you. I have the phone app. I'll fix it. No, I didn't forget. Well, okay. We should talk about that. Do you have time to come in? I have a question on that procedure. When do you know how what's the proper way to go to the shop? What do you do with your logs? And how do you handle that situation? That's a great topic to talk about. If you got time to come in, I'll throw the link and you can come in and talk about that. Okay. Or I'll text you the link. Here, let's put this out to everyone. Umberto says you can log off. Yeah, I know. So I didn't think about it. I went off duty. That's as far as I thought. Okay. invite. This is how you email it to me, huh? Okay. Snorlord, it says it's sent. Guests can stream this to their own destinations. Oh, you can. It sounds like you can stream this on your own destination. Snorlord, that's new. It's a new feature on StreamYard. I just emailed it to you, but it said, yeah, it said, told me a note on there. That's interesting, guys. Did you know that? If someone invites you into StreamYard now, you can stream it to your channel at the same time. So that must be their answer to go live together, right? But it's kind of nice because it's involved in the link. That's interesting. Learn something new every day. Wheelburner Express says, when my truck goes into the shop, I log out. Okay. And then, so does that mean, I'm trying to think back through my experiences. So it seems like sometimes, like when I used to get my JB Hunt truck out, and then it would tell me that I had hours there, or there was drive time on there. And I used to have to call into my safety department and be like, they must have drove my truck or something. And then they would do whatever they did in the background and remove it. Go truck yourself says unplug it. Jackknife says log out after you drop it off. You have no link. I sent it to your Doomy Tunes. Yeah, I see it here. It says join me on StreamYard, Steve. If the shop moves your truck while you're logged out, when you log back in, it will tell you that there's an unassigned drive time. Right. Yeah. And you have the choice whether to claim it or not. So, yeah. Okay. I remember that. Umberto says when you log back in, you report the drive time as on the garage, but never unplug. Yeah, Wilburner says I don't claim it. Okay. Old School Trucking is in the house. Good morning. The International, just to catch you up, Old School, the International's in the shop this morning. I am at home. And we have a special guest. Praise the Lord. Good morning, sir.
ShannAn.
Look, for the audience, I hear this every day from him because no matter what I do, I make him feel like,
ShannAn. How many times have I told the drivers that you have to log out when you go to the shop? Don't do a close up of me.
That's what you get.
Oh, I can solve that problem here. There. So now we're just listening to me. Now you just look at my image.
Oh yeah,
here.
don't do that. Don't look. The audience doesn't need to be punished for my my short.
I have said it on the ELD. I've told every driver, make sure you tell me when you log out so I know when to do the unassigned drive. But you have to log out.
Okay. So I can log out from here. I really
Because when they move the truck again, it will show drive, and I can't remove that unless you're logged out.
All right.
Silly.
So this is a total. So let's walk through the procedure. So you go there, you go off duty, you log out of your ELD completely. Then when you pick it up and you come back in, it's going to tell you that you have unassigned drive time, and you say, no, I'm not accepting that.
Right.
And then move on.
Then
right?
I take care of it on this end.
Okay. Where do those unassigned drive hours disappear to? I'm just curious.
I notate them that the shop had drove the truck, so it shows that you did not drive those.
Okay. Oh, 2 messages on my ELD.
Wow. So, man, I haven't sent a message in over a week, so you don't read your messages either.
I did. Maybe not on this app, but I did on the tablet because I just had to log back into it today. I mean, sometimes I do catch them a little bit later because they're coming on the tablet. It's not real evident to me that there's something there because I don't notice that little bell thing.
But here's what's going to happen. So if I wouldn't have caught this, I would have been getting a call tomorrow morning, you freaking out because you had 0 hours on your 70 and you didn't know why. And I would have to go in there and edit all them on duty logs.
Yeah, you just change them.
Shannon.
You just unplug it, right? That's
Oh, look, it shows off duty now. Imagine that. So let me edit this for you.
Thank you. Oh man, you're a pal. I appreciate you.
Yeah, whatever.
See, guys, look at the fantastic support at Lake Trucking.
Yeah,
like, if you're not here, you're missing out. I'm just saying. We are taking applications, yes. Still?
I don't know. Probably. More people calling me that they got no hours because they forgot to log out.
Yes, everyone, you can sign up for that program at liketrucking.com. There's an application you can fill out.
See, there's 8 seconds of driving that were triggered when they pulled it into the shop. So, man, imagine ruining your whole 34-hour reset because of 8 seconds.
Oh, no, I'm on a full clock. My reset's already done.
Okay, well, good thing.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even have went up there if I was still on my 34. Yeah, that was done like sometime this morning because I was going to head out. But after Jeff came over last night and we looked at that, and I was like, okay, let's look at this whole situation. It would be better for me to be home in case there's some delay and have it looked at while I'm here before I get started for the week than to be anywhere else. So I made the executive decision to handle it. And the shop is literally 2 miles from my house. Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about something else too. It's not letting me edit it, number one. So
Why?
But we're going to have to talk about something else that you did here, but I won't put that out.
Okay. I always got to do something and I don't even know it. Don says, sounds good, but I don't have a truck. Go Truck Yourself says, I usually unplug mine until I get into the scale and then I plug it in. LOL, just kidding. Tolga says, I'll listen at the background while working. I can't see the screen nor the chat. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, Tolga, it's cool. Thanks for hanging out and listening. That's all. I expect most people just to be listening anyways. Can't edit drive time. Right. And so that they went on there. What'd you say for 8 seconds?
8 seconds
Of drive time. Okay.
Because the shops don't know to keep the truck under 4 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh, it's literally like 50 feet from the door.
No, I saw the track, but you know, it's doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's all right because they're off duty again, and I'm logged out now, so we're good.
So what's going to happen is now the truck is running, so that's good. They got it deeper in the shop, so they're trying to figure it out. Was there anything else you're getting done to it?
No, everything else is fine. That's it. They're hoping it'll be simple, but I'm surprised it's in there already because the way that they were talking, they were like buying themselves time. They're like, well, we got a truck he's been working on since Saturday. And he's got to finish that up, and we're just not sure when that's going to be, and, that kind of story. So I was like, they were making sure I didn't feel like it was going to be quick enough for me to wait in the waiting room and I should leave. So
Yeah, they don't want to deal with you.
I was just like, okay. I said, I can go do something else. And just please, I said, call me as soon as possible because I got to get out on the road, right? So I put as much urgency as I could into it. And they were like, yeah, okay. They're going to call
Jeff.
about
your urgency.
Yeah, they're going to call Jeff first. And then they're going to call me and let me know. Because I'm like, I'm the one that's got to come get it. So I need to know when I can go. The guy was really nice. All of them guys were really nice. And it literally out of the two, remember I told you, I don't know if you remember, but I had been to 2 previous international dealerships to try to address the issue. And I had stated that like they didn't know what they were talking about. These guys were all over the conversation. Like it was the first intelligent conversation I had about this since Jeff bought the truck. Actually, because even the Loves was like, yeah, we haven't finished training on that yet. And no, if some of you know or not, but Loves is a certified warranty place for you to get some warranty work done or get your PMs done for the international. So that one that I went to in Florida, he was like, yeah, we haven't finished the training for this one yet. And I'm
Shannon,
thinking,
let me give you some advice. Now remove that comment so you can see what my title is. Hold on. Remove Go Truck Yourself's comment. Okay.
how do I remove it?
Well, click on it.
Oh, click back on it like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what it says underneath my name there? Snow alert who was ignored.
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you something else that you're probably going to ignore. Ready?
What?
Don't go to Love's for more than a tire change.
Yes, I know. And that's know that. No, it's not that I don't listen. That situation required me to, because I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get to the dealership. So I had to get someplace and try something. And that was when my DPF lights were going off and all that, because the truck had been idling at 600 miles an hour. 600 RPMs for a couple of days. That was that situation. So, yeah. Turns out that when I drove there from the dealership, who didn't know what they were talking about, and they told me to come back in the morning because they weren't going to take me or let me sit there. They sent me to the Loves. I go in and ask the Loves guy. And that was the conversation I got. What he did know, however, was how to get that engine light off. He did tell me how to get the check engine light off, because after I drove to the Loves, the DPF dinghy things were off. And then there was just a check engine light. That guy did know how for me to clear that out. And he said 5 key starts would clear that out because it's just a remaining engine light. And lo and behold, he was right. But yes, I will be getting my PMs done at dealerships because I'm not playing with this warranty. Like, and we know how Jeff feels about truck stop mechanics, right?
Well, it's not how he feels, how he knows.
He
There's a
knows.
difference. You know.
Yes.
And I'm recommending the only thing truck stops are good for is for tire change outs, a light that you can't reach. And even then that can be a challenge. Every time I've taken my truck to a TA for a light issue, it's always turned into some whole big shebang.
Yeah, I think that's where I got overcharged. I got charged $100 for my Freightliner marker light one time. Yeah. That was like the
was
first
that at
time.
TA?
Yeah, it was an at a TA.
How long did it take for them to do it?
Maybe not even 10 minutes. And so the next time, and they had like an aftermarket light, which on my cool Freightliner, like totally, I couldn't handle it. So I went to the dealership, picked up the right one from the dealership, and then I climbed up there and I put that thing on. Because when I saw how easy it was, I was mad. But they already had me at that point.
See, Kenworth has got you beat. See, so Kenworth decided that it would be too easy for the driver to fix that, so they made it difficult. And so that has added some difficulties when it came to my marker lights on the top of the cab.
So you have to have somebody put them in there?
If I had the right torque wrench, I could do it myself. But you know, it's an 8-year-old truck, so good luck getting that sucker off. I've watched everybody who's ever changed a marker light for me struggle more than I'm willing to do because they're so hard to get off.
My Freightliner one was literally I had to have the right Allen wrench. Yeah. And you go up there and you just take out 2 screws and the little rubber backing, take the new one, boop, turn those things on with the Allen wrench. I was done. They charged me $100 for that. Ladies, listen up. Get up there and change your own stinking marker lights unless you have a Kenworth. Because on a Freightliner, that was easy. I was like, I'll never fall for that one again.
That's part of being an owner operator is being able to do some work yourself.
Yes.
You know, and I know people that run fleets that have lease trucks, and they have guys that won't even change their old light bulbs. They'll go to the shop for anything. They won't even like they barely know how to change their washer fluid in their wiper blades.
Yeah, I mean, you at least gotta you at least gotta do some maintenance, something, you know, like something.
Well, as a company driver,
like stuff that if you're doing your pre-trips anyways, you know, you should know when you might have to go into the shop or whether you need to fix something real quick. I mean, I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing. So here's what I've learned in my career. There's 2 types of company drivers. One that gets things done because they don't want to wait around for anybody, and the other kind that say it's not my problem, not my job.
Yeah.
And if you have a company driver that has that approach, you don't want them as a company driver.
Well, let me tell you this. At JB Hunt, we were not to touch anything. Like, if anything was wrong, we were not to touch it. We were to, even if it was a dumb reason to call a tow truck, it didn't matter. They'd take care of it. So as a company driver, that gives you the sense like, oh, they're taking such a good care of me. But let me tell you,
they just don't want you screwing it up.
Right, which is smart. So then you have somebody like me who was like, okay, my headlight was out. I was in Kentucky. It was the middle of the night. The TA tells me that their guy is going to be there in the morning, or he was out on a call. He was already out on a call, but it would probably be like 4 or 5 hours. And I'm in the middle of like, no, I want to go to bed. Like, because I need to go to bed at a certain time to make sure I'm delivered on time. Like, so I called a friend. A friend said, you can twist that thing, pull it out, and you can see what number it is. Go inside, get that number, match it up, get the bulb, pay the $12, screw that thing back in yourself, and you'll be done. It'll take you 10 minutes.
At Schneider, they used to give us extra taillights for the older trailers that you
we had bags
out yourself.
Yep. Yeah, because so those were the intermodals, right? For us, like I was doing intermodal, so we had those chassis. So I carried a bag of lights, extra seals, extra fuses, right? They give you that stuff because you're dropping and hooking all the time. So you have the ability to repair the trailer with small repairs. But when it came to the truck, they didn't want us touching it. But when it came to those trailers, we were expected to fix whatever was going on. And that helped me because, I learned how to put, fix little things like that and keep an eye on it and all my seals and whatever. But that wasn't no problem to me, and if you're going to run intermodal, y'all know what I'm talking about, or if you've ever done it, like them chassis get banged up and all of that. So you got to have extra parts. And there was a lot of times that people stole the parts out of our chassis to fix their own trailers, right? You run up against that because you're going into the shipping yard and other companies have similar lights on their chassis. And so ours would be missing parts a lot. So
I pulled 2 chassis in my career. It sucked. Humberto says, true, not even the tire change. So he doesn't even trust the shops to do a tire change. So let me tell you a story. So I did my pre-trip there in Brazil, Indiana at the Petro, and I had a flat tire on the tractor. So I pull into the shop, and the guy takes this big, huge vice grips or these pliers, and he's trying to take off the chrome nut covers that I had, scratching them all to hell. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I gotta take these off. I'm like, and I had this special wrench that I bought at the Petro, that's basically it's a octagon plastic tube that you use to take those off. And this guy could barely put the tire together. It was crazy. It took him like 2 hours, and I literally got to patch this tire. I was going from Brazil to Indianapolis to deliver. And about, I don't know, 30 miles, the patch didn't even last. So I ended up going to a real tire shop, and they fixed it after I made my delivery. But it was, I mean, in all seriousness, we've had 2 drivers or 3 drivers actually that have been burned by the truck stop shops on major stuff. One guy had to get a new engine. That almost went to court. So you have to be aware. If you're driving a new truck with a warranty, your best bet is to get the maintenance done at the dealership that you bought the truck out of, if possible. It's
at least at a delership, right? Because I'm probably not going to see that one too often. But
for me, on the PACCAR motor, if I've had my maintenance done once at Wingfoot, and I didn't know this, but the minute that I turned the truck on, the engine light came on. I'm like, well, what's this? Don't worry about that. All the PACCARs do that. I'm like, and later I found out that if there's a change in the fuel system, which happens when you do the fuel filter, that light will come on. So every PACCAR shop that does that will turn that off before the truck gets turned on. Of course, after 3 cycles, it went off. But I always went to the dealerships for my oil changes. Besides that one time, and that one time I was not impressed. And it's just, it's the best thing is, if you don't have a warranty, is to find a shop that can work on your Cummins or Detroit that doesn't cost dealership prices, because most independent shops are about 40% less than what the dealerships charge on shop labor.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I really don't have any knowledge of places like that, right? Because I haven't been out here long enough, and I haven't run across them or whatever, and now I'll have probably see repair shops a lot less because of the warranty thing. But for my PMs, it would be nice to have like a place that I like, because really, like, the majority that any of the places I've been have been the dealerships. And then the one time I had TA do my alignment on the Freightliner, that turned into 3 alignments. Right? And I'm just like, it was crazy. So
here's the thing. Okay. There's a tool that you can buy that you can plug into your Cummins that will help you read codes and do force regens if needed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does that void the warranty?
No, it's an OTR tool. I don't think it would.
Okay.
But
I need to get that. Send me a link.
I dealt with that too, Oser and Laredo at Landstar. None of the I pulled in. I had no idea. I pulled in there and I'm like, there's no glad hand seals on any of these trailers. I was doing a drop and hook, and sure enough, I had to chase down a shop guy to get glad hand seals. So
that's crazy. Yeah. I want to go with his other comment that he put. That and people always stealing the rubber grommets out of the glad hands. So yeah, that happens in, like, I'm gonna probably say JB Hunt and Schneider, right? Because they have tons and tons of drop and hook. Like, that stuff's gonna happen.
Well, you know why they do that? Because let's say you, ShannAn, decided I'm gonna deliver in Laredo.
Yeah.
And Laredo, but it's a drop trailer delivery. Like, in other words, you'll drop your trailer for 24 hours. And what happens is somebody from the Mexican side grabs that trailer, brings it over to their side, and when they bring it back, it's not going to have any lights or anything on it. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Which is why those companies do that.
There was a point at JB Hunt where they finally they were peeling back on parts, right? Because we used to be able to come in there and get whatever parts we asked for. Then they changed to a system where you had to exchange one to get one. and all of that just to tighten up on it. But that, again, that's intermodal. There's a lot of repairing that those drivers have to do. Like Oster's talking about at Schneider, like, they expect you to do some of that stuff, which ultimately, I mean, it was fine for me. And I'm a little bit more mechanically inclined, believe it or not, than an average girl, right? And so I didn't mind it at all, but there's some people that can't or don't or whatever. Jackknife says, I only trust Speedco and certain TAs that I have a connection with. The people that work around where I live, so that it leaves me with 2 TAs and a Speedco in Harrisburg and Hershey. Well, and so you're close to home too, right? So if something does delay you, then you can be at home.
Well, I will give TA credit. I've had my batteries replaced at TAs, and they do a good job. because they actually clean the terminals and the wires and they check everything. I had that done in just outside of Columbus there on the east side off of 70. I had that done there, and then the Petro in Walcott, Iowa, they changed out my batteries. Here recently though, my most recent batteries were changed out by Kenworth. So.
I had the ones in the Freightliner done at Love's, and I honestly say I forget where it was at, which one it was at, but they did a really good job of giving me the readouts and having a discussion with me and educating me about how these printouts come out for the testings of the batteries and stuff. So I'll give them a shout out for that. I don't remember where it was at though, but that was with my Freightliner. So, they're not always the worst, right? Some of them actually might hire some people that know what they're doing.
No.
Okay.
No.
I should put up a poll on that one. Everybody be like, no. Go Truck Yourself says my shop charges $100 an hour. That's good, right? That's a good price.
Yes.
Because aren't the dealerships like $175?
They're about $200 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's why it's tempting to go get stuff done at the truck stops, because it's a lot cheaper, but in the long run it could be more expensive. But now there's a shop that I had locally here in Springfield that I was using for my Peterbilt on everything, but once I had the PACCAR and I had a little bit of warranty left, I had to go to MHC Kenworth, and then after the warranty was done, anything engine related, I had to go there. But if it was non-engine related, I would go to the other shop. But they were such a good shop that they're always 2 and 3 and 4 weeks out. So at that point, at least Kenworth I can pull in. They'll get to it. Not every MHC Kenworth is like that, but I have a good reputation with the shop, and and a box of donuts can go a long way for a shop.
Yeah.
You go in there and you say, hey, this is compliments of, your trucking company or whatever. And it at least shows them that you're above average on, these people that come in and complain and all that. So.
Yeah, no, that's for real. Think about it. To me, this is common sense. You treat people how you want to be treated. And in business, I have found many, many, many times, if I am the first one to reach out and be extra kind or do something extra first and be giving first, that usually benefits me in the long run, right? Same way with the brokers. When I started talking to brokers and I started booking loads and I knew I wanted to build a relationship with these people, sometimes you take a little less on a load or try to do them a solid or whatever. But thanking people, showing appreciation, and that when someone does that for you, right, that gives you a good feeling about them, right? It's a pleasant conversation. You appreciate that they sounded like they were in a good mood and they were appreciative of your services, even when you're talking to a driver, right? It has to affect you in what you're doing, right? Don't you like talking to that guy? Because this guy is going to be like, So even when you're dispatching drivers, if they're appreciating you, then you're going to feel some kind of way and you feel good talking to each other, and it's a positive experience. The same thing is going to get you farther in business if you treat people kindly, especially if you're going to be working with them or want them to provide you with good service. I'm even super awesome to my shoppers that deliver my groceries, right? I love on them. Thank you so much. I appreciate what you're doing, right? And some of them look at me like, okay, right? Because nobody thanks them. No one appreciates that. And I want good service, right? I do want good service. I might get that girl again next time or whatever. anybody I'm doing business with, I want to be able to always have a good rapport with them and have good conversations. And I want them to remember me, that my mark is positive and it's kind, right? And so I think that goes a long way with people. And it's very easy because you like to talk to nice people and you don't like to talk to mean people or someone that just acts snobby and doesn't appreciate your services. Right? That's how it makes us feel. I'd rather talk to somebody who's, working with me and is happy and appreciates me and all that other stuff. I think anybody would. But you got to give some out too. And especially services. You don't want to be yelling at the people making your food because they're going to spit in it if you're mean. Very simple. I don't want to be taken advantage of to mechanics. Now, being a woman, you have to be careful with mechanics, and I'll tell you why. Because I can be very nice, and they can misjudge that for naivety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lack of knowledge, because I'm lighthearted, and so they're like, "Oh yeah," right? Like the one guy, one time, a man, I was all dressed up. This is like when I was 25 years old. My Oldsmobile Cutlass, 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass, blew a radiator hose. My father was a master mechanic. Okay, I was stuck in another town, and so I go to this little tiny shop. The guy tells me that it's going to be a ridiculous amount of money because it was a foreign part and he had to order it from a special shop down the street, right? Well, I knew he was lying to me because it's an Oldsmobile. Hello. And I was like, no, my car doesn't have any foreign parts on it. And he goes, no, that hose is, though. Right? So this is what I go through, you guys. You guys will look at right to my face and look right in my eyes and tell me some crap. And so, yeah, I can be gullible, like the light situation, and I learn as I go. But that's a struggle out here for a female, and maybe some males too. Maybe it's not female specific, but they will try to get over on you. And so sometimes being nice gets you in trouble. You don't have to be mean, but just firm. Like I could speak more firm and less happiness in my voice, and it might get them to take me differently, instead of me being too kind up front too soon.
Well, Shannon, this has been fun. I hope we learned the lesson. And you'll need to call me. You'll need to call me after your live feed.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Later.
Cheap Freight Hauler says my ELD tells me engine codes. Umberto says I have one for sale. You guys see what that says. I'm not even trying to attempt to read that properly. Jackknife says, yeah, I've been to their shop, I think about out by 83. There's also one in Hershey right there across from the Speedco. Oster says, I asked a guy who worked at the Schneider Gate who lived in Mexico what they were doing with all that rubber glad hands, and he had no idea what they did to them or did with them. Cheap Freight Hauler says truck stop batteries are too expensive. Yeah, they were pricey. As a matter of fact, I had to have the Dart people talk to them because they negotiated something to get those batteries a little bit cheaper for me. Jackknife CV says, no, they got to pay them then, and then the people that know what they're doing don't go there because they want to get paid. Yeah, I was going to mention the pay, right? I've talked to people at the Loves and asked them like what they got paid. And even at some of the dealerships, they told me like what they get paid, and It's a wonder why we have unknowledgeable people in certain places, because they're literally making like 18 bucks an hour, 22 bucks an hour. And then like the one dealership in Colorado told me that it depends on their productivity, right? They can get paid based on how much they get done and how efficient they are, right? So it's not just hourly pay anymore. Like, at least the dealerships are giving them incentives and doing things different, so that if the mechanics take too much time, it's going to affect their pay, and then they have an opportunity to do more and get paid more. But it still puts them at, some of them guys are probably working their butts off. Go Truck Yourself says the XY shifter and wiring harness for $1,200, and that included the parts. I love it. Yeah, that's a good deal. WCF Invader says drive time can be edited by the fleet owner, but it cannot be edited by the driver. DIY Semi says, what happened? DIY, the truck is in the shop for getting the EPU fixed so that we can have air conditioning in the truck and stop idling it. So I'm waiting to hear the verdict right now. DIY, if you're still in here. WCF Invader, and I have to call Snorler because apparently there's some problem with my ELD, and okay, and I need to. He needs to talk to me. He has to do a talking to with me. So we have these, but I will tell you, I appreciate him because, there's times when I need correction, and it makes me better. WCF Invader says that's the reason I never go log out. I edit the drive time after the fact. If the shop moves the truck, to me, it shows the DOT you're trying to stay legal instead of hiding drive time. But you can't edit the drive time, right? Old School Trucking says all the reason to dislike e-logs. WCF Invader comments are your friend on the logbook. Yeah, I comment actually a lot. Some days I don't, but I'm trying to get better at that because Snorlar taught me that. And so I try to be adding some more detail and make it a practice. But at the same time too, I think too much information could be detrimental, right? If you make a mistake and you give too much information. So there's part of me is like, okay, I appreciate putting some detail in there, but I also appreciate the fact that sometimes you can put too much. They don't need to know all that. Like, they probably want you to put everything, but they don't need to know everything. So the bare minimum that meets the requirement, right? What is that? Go Truck Yourself says, me and your dad got stuff in common. He's a master mechanic and I'm a Go Truck Yourself. Jack TV says they call that flat rate, ShannAn. My experience is it impedes quality work, and unless you're fed the gravy work, you're stuck with the warranty jobs and make no money. No, Jackknife, that's right. I spoke to the shop manager at the Freightliner in Colorado, and she told me that. She told me how they don't like to do warranty work. And that because exactly what you're saying. My Adventures is in the house. Hey, Chris, how's everything going? Are you working? Sorry to hear you're down. You know what? It's only temporary. And I'm at home. So if I'm going to be chilling for an extra day, I'm glad I'm here. It's all good. I'm just trying not to go stir crazy from having another day off. But I need this, right? I'm trying to accept it, use it. It's going to be okay. I'm sure Dee Dee doesn't mind. She loves being here. And I do too, but I get to spend some extra time with my kids, and that's the best thing. But right at the moment, while I'm here with you, like I got the house to myself, me and the dogs. WCF Invader says the fleet owner can do whatever they want you to do at like, or do whatever they want you to do at like. I'm my own fleet owner, so I am able to edit drive time. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Wilburner says it doesn't show the DOT that you're trying to stay legal. It shows the DOT that your truck was in the shop being maintained and you weren't driving it. It's perfectly legal. WCF Invader says Jackknife TV, I hate the flat rate work. The shop near me charged 4 hours to replace a knock sensor, and they had it done in an hour and a half. And they gouged me for sure. I argued it to no end. You know what? That is one thing that I do want to learn how to fix, because I understand that, like, if I have to put one in, I want to know how to do it, right? Because that's something that at least I know on the Freightliner was quick. And they do try to charge you extra, right? And yeah. From what I understand from anybody who's done a video on them, they're pretty easy. Jackknife says, WCF, I can almost guarantee that the technician probably didn't see that extra time added to their pay ticket. I worked somewhere where I could clock 3 or 4 hours on a job and they would charge 6. Oh, yeah, I guess that could happen. WCF Invader says, Wilburner, express in my opinion, fleet owners don't want the hassle of editing logs for drivers to change the drive time. In my view, since I can edit drive time, I never log out. It's like having the miles to match up on the logbook because there's no arguing the miles. Okay. Wilburner says, why would the DOT argue with you about extra miles if it clearly shows your truck was in the shop? WCF Invader says at Jackknife TV, I'd agree completely. All those places just try to gouge their customers every penny. And so this is the beauty of Snorlord. He's like the all-seeing eye. My truck is no longer in the bay. So it might be fixed. They haven't called me yet. But thank you for that update. Jackknife TV, with the nuclear lawsuits that have been coming out and people go into jail, I comment on every change of duty status on my log. Even when I take bathroom breaks, I log off duty and say why. Really? That's some heavy detail. And I really think, like, Snorlord, when he put it out there on his channel about the detailing, right? I never really detailed too much, especially not when I was loading something, where I was at, the load number. I never did that. I was never told to do that. I was never trained to do that. We went on duty, off duty, sleeper berth, PC if necessary. Okay, I've always notated if I PC'd, because you're supposed to put if it's personal time. Like if you're on your 34 and you got to run somewhere and you got to go do something, and then you also have to put in there like or if it's emergency and you have, your clock's running out and you have to get a little bit extra to the truck stop, whatever, right? PC, you have to notate. But Snorlord expressed how he used to do his logs, and so I started doing that, and then consequently, maybe not consequently, but later, I had been pulled into the weigh station, and because I was a little bit overweight, and he pulled my logs. And I was really glad at that moment that probably looked like an over and above situation, because there was some detail in there like that. And that's probably why he didn't find any problems. I mean, and there shouldn't be any problems, but I'm just saying, I think it probably looks good to the DOT, right? So I'm trying to stay doing that because I feel like, well, I guess I can see his viewpoint. Like, if it looks like I'm attention detailed enough to put those details in the logs and in the changes, then it might make them feel more comfortable. But bathroom breaks, I probably won't go that far. Jackknife says, with all the nuclear lawsuits that have been coming out and people go into jail, I comment on every change of duty status of my log, even when. Oh, I read that already. I'm sorry. WCF Invader says, Wheel Burner said, stop. Why would some DOT officers give violations on just about every truck they inspect? You know, the ones you could take a new truck and trailer and they'd find something. Yeah, they're out there, right? They're out there. WCF Invader says, I do that with my logs as a mitigating factor. You can't argue the miles when they are all on the log sheet. Wheelburner says, okay. Channel member, by the way. Jackknife TV says, you know, I have the old mentality of, if the government, F the government, but guess what? We've been getting screwed nonstop here lately, and it just doesn't seem like justice is on our side anymore. I feel you, Jackknife. Like, there's part of you that feels like you want to cover your butt, right? CYA. So, like, I totally get it. And someone once told me, like, you have to look at it like they're looking at the picture of your logs. So it's helped me visualize it. Like, if you look at it from that perspective, you want to make sure the picture looks properly, right? Because God forbid anything did happen and your logs should have been more detailed to save your butt. It's a thought. Just saying. So it looks like I don't have a call yet. My daughter called me. She wants to take me out for tacos. So I'm going to assume, Snorlord, that if my truck is out of the bay, I should be getting a call soon. But they're going to call Jeff first. Or like, right, we hope there's not a problem. Where they're like, oh, we can have this fixed in about a week for you. Or something. God, you guys, pray for me. I'm thinking maybe, it's just today. And I'll have to get out and do loads tomorrow. Please pray that this is not a bad situation. I can't imagine. The truck's brand new and it really works fantastic. Everything on there works fantastic. So unless they wired something wrong or did something crazy like that, this should be an easy deal. I'm just saying. Jackknife says, I'll give you a rundown. On duty, guard check, shipper, then yard move, then on duty, check-in, shipper, then yard move, drop trailer, post trip on duty, yard move. Okay. Yeah, that's about what I try to keep going on like that. Followed by pickup trailer, pre-trip on duty. Okay. Wheelburner says, please tell your daughter I'll be there shortly for tacos. Yeah, come join us, Wheelburner. There is a great taco joint nearby here. And I will say this. Their tacos, just their regular, like what's supposed to be burger in there, like the meat is different. I don't know what's about it. So I don't get the tacos, but they have got the best fajitas in Michigan. Their fajitas are like, get the fajitas. And you can get their carne asada tacos are the best. And they definitely have the best salsa that they bring to the table. I could just literally just eat that. But their tacos, I almost want to ask them, like, what is that meat? And they put the white cheese in it, right? But it's an authentic place. It's just something's weird about the tacos. But everything else is absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you're ever in town, Wheel Burner, I'll take you over there. Or if you really want the best tacos, the best greasy tacos, we got a place over here in Flint that are very, very authentic and greasy tacos. He says, I'm drooling all over the place over here. Would you please shut up? And, oh, Robert Tyke Trucking has finally made it in. Hi, Robert. Today, just come on to talk about the International. I did take it to the shop this morning. I'm at the house. It's close by home, and I'm just waiting to hear the verdict on the EPU. Trying to get that fixed before I head back out on the road again, since I was here anyways. And the shop is so close to the house. Like, duh. So, yeah. It's tongue in the tacos. Gotta watch him tell me that. Bear. He barks weird for a dog, but so does Dee Dee. I can't say nothing. So, yeah, that would be gross. Or they tell me it's like, is that what they call head cheese, is cow tongue? Or is that brain meat? Like, somebody told me that a long time ago and I forgot. Does anybody know? Some destinations won't get comment. Okay. Well, I don't know, guys. That's what's going on. And I'm trying to pass some time. So I hope to help you get some miles down here. And I don't know what else I got. So I'll just have to give you an update as soon as I find something out. So what else can I do? I can work out and take a shower. I'm imagining things to do to keep myself busy right now. Amazingly enough, my work is done. Like, my business stuff is caught up, which normally that would be what I'd be working on, catching up those kind of things. But everything's in the truck anyways. And I did bring my laptop with me, and that's what I'm working with. So Wheel Burner says, if you can't identify the top, hey, stop it. If you can't identify the taco meat, just look around the neighborhood and see if there are any stray dogs or cats. Well, this is the deal around here. Pretty sure the cats, okay, we have a couple of Oriental joints. And pretty sure what they call chicken isn't chicken. So I already figured out that it could be some other type of animal. I'm trying to be careful, Wheel Burner. And that would be the cats, probably. So we don't eat there anymore. And then, or dogs. I don't know. And there's only the one big, nice, maybe there's another little place over there, but they actually, that's real ground beef. There's no doubt about it, because it's a nice greasy taco, right? But this place over here, it's almost like a different, okay, the meat that's in Taco Bell tacos? They've been totally open about that. Like, yeah, it's whatever. Okay. If there were another brand of that meat, this could be it. That type of meat. Let me say that properly. That type of meat, this could be it. Just saying. Love, there's an actual taco place out by me that sells venison tacos. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there's sometimes deer missing out the side of the road. Is that better than cats? I don't know. Is there like a roadkill crew Is there guys that just are designed, specifically supposed to move those smashed deers that we see, the deer hamburger? They have to, like, how do they get off the road? You know? During the rut season, at least, especially here in Michigan, there's dead deer everywhere. Like, you got to be really careful up here because we got deer and they're big. And when it's mating season, they're everywhere. They're crossing the highways. They're trying to get from forest to mate and all this, right? And our deer are very large, so beware. But man, you'll see at least 20 deer. If you come into Michigan to deliver something, you're going to see at least 20 dead deer on that highway on your way in. And then you'll see 20 more on the way out. I don't know who picks those things up, but they sure come off the road. Is that like a DOT thing? Is that like a road commission job? Like, who does that? That's a good trivia question. I mean, you guys probably all know. I don't know. These are the types of questions I think of while I'm driving. Like, wonder how that works. Wonder who does that. You know? I think about a lot of stuff. WCF Invader says, DOT takes care of the roadkill here in Missouri. I wonder what they do with it. Where does roadkill go? Sometimes I've seen that they've thrown animals on the side of the road, right? And then thank God for vultures, right? They get to eat, and then the possums probably get to eat, and the ants and whatever. But when it's rut season and there's many like that, or if you got absolute deer murder, that's just like somebody turned it into hamburger all over the road, maybe that should be picked up. They pick it up and throw it in a dump truck. Probably deer. As far as where it goes, probably deer heaven. I'm sure all deer go to heaven. Okay. And dogs and cats and birds and bugs. But they probably just take it to the dump, I would think. Anyways, yeah. It was good to see Jeff yesterday. He stopped by on his very cool Harley. It was a beautiful day yesterday. He was Ubering one of the grandkids around and stopped by and looked at the truck with me and stuff. Very cool. And it's always good to see Jeff. And if I have to hang out here too much longer, I'm going to see if he wants to take me out for a steak. If the truck's not going to be done today, I'm going to say, hey, Jeff, let's go get a steak. And then we'll hang out some more. WCF Invader says, and from there it goes, right? My adventure says, okay, deer and elk are owned by the state, so it's a loss of revenue to the state. Well, yeah, because they got to pay somebody to come out and get it, right? And they lose the animal. I never really looked at it like that, Chris. Like they're property. They're not property of the state. I mean, I know what you're saying, and you're right. But I'm defending like the Lord because the state don't own this land, and the state don't own the animals in it. That's what I got to say about it. But you're right. Like I get what you're saying from the revenue expense perspective. You know, yeah, it's the way it is. It's the world we live in. So yeah, if anybody doesn't have anything else, then I'm gonna start to close this down. Hunting licenses, yeah. Snorlord says here in Missouri they test the dead deer for CW. What is CWD, Snorlord? Is that some kind of disease or something? WCF Invader says state don't own the land. Try not paying property taxes. Yes. It's like, don't get me started. Don't get me start going off. Okay. WCF Invader says it's a disease. Oh, okay. I never heard of that before. RGB channel member is in the house. It goes into the chili competition. That's what I'm saying. Let's make use of that. There's some jerky. I mean, if they're going to test the meat, the state might want to look into that. Like, okay, well, if we got like half a good venison here, we can send it over to the jerky guy. We can split revenues with them, right? And make a few bucks off of it anyways. And let him make a few bucks off it. And then there's your jerky. Jackknife says, technically they're not, but technically they are. Try to talk to a game warden about who owns the animals in the state. Although I would say they're necessary evil. Some people destroy hunting. Yeah. Snorler says chronic wasting disease. Oh God. Doesn't that sound like something super terrible that you would never want to have happen to you? Wheelburner says in Canada, we scrape the dead deer off the highway and send it to the Chinese food restaurants in Michigan. I wouldn't be surprised. Especially if they all come here to Flint. Like if there's a direct truckload right delivering to Flint and that's what was happening, I really wouldn't be surprised. Oh, so I listen to this. It's like 5 o'clock this morning, maybe 5:14 this morning, right? And I swear this happens every time I'm home. Not the same thing, but similar. 6 gunshots literally sounded like in my backyard. I'm looking at the clock like, are they already starting? Like, really? It's not during the 2 to 4 o'clock window where it's like it's late and these people are up way past late, the bar's closed, whatever. It was not that window. It was like the morning window. And it was so close, I had to go to my window and check on my neighbor. Because I almost thought, what? That sounded so close, it could have been in his driveway. So that was crazy. Normal here, but crazy because I was like, my first thought, this is how desensitized we are here. My first thought is like, that's early. Like, not, oh my God, call the cops. Oh my God, somebody's dead. It's none of that. It's like, oh, well, normally that happens about 2 or 3 in the morning. How crazy is that I even naturally feel that way, you know? Old Fart Gaming is in the house. Popped in to help support the channel. Thank you, Old Fart. Please hit the like on your way in and out if you're leaving. Snorlord's laughing. Old Fart says, when I was stationed in Alaska, got to see what happens to a moose when a moose takes on a Toyota pickup. The Toyota lost. I think even semi-trucks lose to mooses. To meese. What's the plural of mooses? The moose eye? It's just moose, isn't it? Plural or singular. The moose eye. So I'm getting crazy, guys. I'm going to get off here. The meeses, right? The meese? It would be the meese. The moose or the meese? Mises would take it an extra step further. Jackknife says, hey, there's worse that I've come close to taking out random cows and horses before out in Idaho and North Texas and stuff. That would scare the crap out of me. ShannAn making us laugh. Well, you know, I love to try to make you laugh. Sometimes nobody laughs more than I do at what I'm saying, but that's okay. I always just try to put a smile on your guys' faces, you know? Snorler says, between the Chinese food, water, crime, Flint sounds beautiful. I also remember that my trailer got a bullet hole because of Saginaw, Michigan is awesome. Yeah, we got a flavor. This is why Snorler will never come to have steak with us in Michigan, right? He hears the stories and the jokes and he got a bullet hole here and I think he's over it. I don't even think we'll be able to get him come snowmobiling or shooting or anything. I don't know. Snorlord, are you ever coming? Are you ever going to come and shoot at the place? Are you ever going to come and see the new terminal when it's up? Old Part says, that's why we keep showing up for you. We laugh together. Well, good. Then it must be successfully happening. I'm no Cash is king. Trust me. Cash is the funniest. Cash is the funniest. And then I make a lot of jokes that only I think's funny. My kids remind me of that all the time, right? Like, Mom, you're not funny. You're not even fun. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm hilarious. Like, I am so hilarious, at least to myself. But, you know, you might get a smirk out of one of my lives one time, and that's good enough for me. You get to smirk and snicker, maybe. Or just watch me be so stinking happy. Because I am. Snorler said he's not coming for snowmobiling and maybe steak. Well, that's fair enough. You're not a snowmobiling kind of guy. What about shoesting? Trying out the new range that I hear we may have, or the old one. I don't know. I haven't even seen the other one. No police came, you guys. We don't call the police. Isn't that weird? Old Fart says, most embarrassing. Fall off the snowmobile and it keeps going down the trail without you. Did that happen to you, Old Fart? Tolga's back. So let's talk about me in wintertime. I do not like the cold. And I know some people say, why don't you drive up north? You know how to drive in the snow. It's all good. I hate being cold, you guys. Like, if I'm here and it's cold and it's wintertime, now there's only one instance that I will get excited about going outside into the snow. And that is when it snows a lot. And I will get my butt out there and start shoveling. And I get my shoveling done. So my walk is all clean because I have to have that done. And then I get in the Jeep. I have a 4-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee, a 2002, and there is nothing more fun to me and this happens to a lot of people in Michigan. We have a thing about like trying to get out and conquer the deep snow. So yeah, I like to get out and try to 4-wheel drive and see what's what out there in the roads. That is my fun. But other than that, oh no, I'm locked in this house. I'm doing everything online. I don't care. I don't want to be out there. It's 9 degrees. Now, I don't have that issue when I'm working, right? I mean, I'm still not I just hate being cold. So I'm not real motivated to go places and do things when it's snowy like that and cold, mostly cold. We have beautiful days that are snow and it's not so cold, but there's lots and lots of snow, right? Those are the best days. But I'm not a cold person. Toga says, I'm a winter kid. Is it hot in Turkey, Toga, where you are? Old Fart says, give your OTR drivers a lot of credit for driving in the snow and ice. Oh yeah, no, it's a skill, you know. And that's the thing. Like I definitely have it. I was raised in this, so like I know. But then there's that point that you reach in your trucking career where you're like, I don't have to put myself through this danger, right? I mean, unless the rates are going to determine your decision, right? It's like, okay, let me re-examine why I want to be in this weather right now when I don't have to be, right? So, Toga says, but I always hate to put the chain on tires in the wintertime. Otherwise, I'm being super chill in the winter times. WCF Invader says, you can always put more layers on. You can only take so much off before it's a felony. I love winter. I love driving in snow. I won't even attempt ice driving though. No, yeah. So there, you have to know the boundaries, right? And I can't say this for my Canada folks. So Canada folk, forgive me because I think it's different for you guys. You guys actually live in what I believe is a frozen tundra most of the year. So you probably have different opinions than I do, but I'm close to you, so I wouldn't think it's that different. Wheelburner says, I would rather be cold than hot, and if cold, then I can always put clothes on and warm up. But if you're hot, once you strip down naked, you're still hot. I guess it sucks. That's true. I love fall weather, right? Because I can put layers on if I want, and I love wearing lots of clothes. So that's the thing. I don't hate Michigan. I don't hate it here. There's just some really, really cold days, like in January, February, with it's like, I was up in Minnesota and experienced that weather. It was so cold that people's batteries were freezing. Thank God my Freightliner was just fine, like nothing was going on. But yeah, it's been that cold and I've been up there, so sometimes it gets hard on you, like for me, like when I got hit by that wind in Ohio and it threw my trailer and it almost hit that guy's truck, that kind of messed with me a little bit. So I kind of changed. Like I was like, okay, I'm staying down south this winter and I might do it next winter. I got rocked by that whole experience. And it's not that I'm scared. It's just like, I just don't even want to. Like, I just want to do my job. I just want to get up and do my job and try to make it as smooth as possible to get through the day. And it's more about that. And the wind with an empty trailer is a whole different freaking experience, man. Ugh. I learned a lot about. I didn't know Ohio had such windy conditions like Chicago. Apparently, it's the lakes. Jackknife says at least Michigan's kind of flat out there, and conquering the snow sometimes involves 16% grades, and your Jeep rolled over into the trees and a 20-foot gully. Yeah. Oh yeah. If we had stuff like, we have some terrain because of the highways, right? And all that, but nothing like that. If we roll over in the Jeep around here, we're just going to roll down the hill and it's going to be okay. There's nothing crazy. So it makes snow fun. We play out in the snow. We have snowmobiles. We have four-wheel drive vehicles. We go sledding when it's cold out, right? We build snowmans. Like, it's a good time here in Michigan. Come January, February, though, when that wind starts to turn into the abominable snowman beast and bite you in the face, that's when you stay in the house. Wheelburner says being Canadian doesn't hurt either. Tolga says we have 4 equal seasons, especially in my city, which is Ankara. I hope I'm saying that right. It's still kind of hot here, but it's being chilly at evening times, which is a nice balance, you know, when everything cools off. Six Temper Tyrannus is in the house and says, is the EPU mystery getting fixed? I'm late. Yeah. It's currently in the shop. I'm waiting for the call of diagnosis and, you know, the sitch. Snowlord said that my tractor has been moved in and out of the bay, so I'm just waiting for a call. That's what's going on. But yes, Six Temper Tyrannus, it is in the shop for the only reason of fixing our EPU issue that we have been talking so much about. I finally have pulled the trigger. I'm at home. There's a shop 2 miles away. It's an international dealer. They have a good reputation with Mr. Like. So I took it there and I got a ride back home for my daughter. So I am like in the waiting room at the hospital. That's what it feels like. But at least I'm home. I get to be home. So we're just waiting. Yeah, we're waiting on the call. Jackknife says, well, I would say with that Warner decision out of Texas, it's just not worth it to drive in any kind of climate weather because apparently we're all automatically at fault for everything. Oh, I feel that. Like, that's a valid concern. And there's some days when you're just, I mean, we face so many challenges every day. We make so many decisions every day. We're under so much stress every day. And so that will get to you, right? And let's just say you're out and you don't get a break or something happens at home and you're not there and then your stress level, right? You got all that going on. And you still have to decide, you know, there's just sometimes we're going to be like, could I make it? Maybe. Should I even try? Maybe. And then sometimes you're just like, F it. I ain't even going to take myself there. You know what I mean? And because if something happens, you're absolutely right, Jackknife. I understand that. Robert says, I hate driving in the snow. Had a few slides, but came out good. I don't know what I did, but must have done it right. Well, good, Robert. You take it slow. Just if you have to drive on ice, try to get off it. Especially, don't you drive like a cab over? I wonder if that's any good on the ice. I don't know. Six Temper Tyrannus says, I can cope with being hot. Cold gets downright painful. Robert says, cold. Yeah, I know. And I've heard that. Like sometimes cold weather bothers people's bones and stuff. WCF Invader says, yes, unfortunately, and the wait is killing me more than ShannAn, it seems. I'm a very patient soul. Okay. I am antsy, if you can't tell, right? But it's like, what can you do? I can't do nothing. Either I'm going to get a call from Jeff first or I'm going to get a call from the shop first. Like, that's what it is. Will Burner says, I wish as Canadians we had the option to be able to drive in the South for the winter and not have to worry about the snow or cold. But unfortunately, we have to go back to Canada each trip. Yeah, I've thought about that before, Will Burner. I was like, man, that sucks because you don't have the, like, you can't do that. You know, I've actually thought about that. I was like, man, because I just can't expect Will Burner to like be able to meet up wherever, right? He's got to go back, and that's weather conditions. I have the option not to drive up that way. Like I can't imagine what that's like in the winter, and I'm sure they clean it up, right? But If you were to ask me like, oh, you want to do some Canada runs in the wintertime? I'd be like, because we have the lakes. You got to cross the lakes. And that's crazy stuff. Six Semper Tyrannus boats for air-conditioned comfort. Lance Calhoun is in the house. So the EPU does have AC? Yes. We have confirmed. Yes, it has a full, I think they said 27,000 BTU air conditioning unit built in. That should be working. So I have wasted probably a couple $1,000s in fuel, and I've wasted, the wear and tear of my motor, idling my motor when I wish I didn't. Being in the heat when over mass confusion, because I spoke to 2 dealerships that really didn't tell me the right thing. So it's a learning process, Lance. But yeah, it's in the shop. They know what they're doing. It's close to home. And we're going to get this thing fixed. 6 says, air conditioning and hot water on tap is the only reason I participate in this social contract. Hey man, I ain't mad at you. Hang on to the comforts, right? I do. I keep a grateful heart, because when you're not living in a house every day and in a neighborhood every day and this regular life every day, right? You learn to appreciate other things, the necessities in life, and we live in small, living spaces, and the road is the road. And so your whole thought process for appreciating the little things changes. At least for me, it did. So I appreciate a lot of things a lot more. Have you called the shop yet? No, I haven't. They told me they were going to call Jeff, and then they were going to call me when they knew what was going on. Eden keeps calling me, but it's not the shop or Jeff. 6 Semper Tyrannus says, I've been out in sub-zero temperatures for extended durations, weeks even, but after getting old, my bones started aching with prolonged exposure. Okay. Yeah, like I have a very close girlfriend, Karen. She's been my friend through school, my life, right? And the humidity here in Michigan hurts her. When she goes to like Reno or Nevada or whatever, she feels amazing, like a totally different person, because of the change in humidity of the air. It's wild. I don't think I have those issues. At least I haven't noticed them yet. The cold is fine. The wind is not. As for the summer, I can survive the hot Arizona desert, but man, those humid Texas days, I cannot. That humidity. Yeah. And that's how Florida and Georgia is too, and the Virginias and all that. That's why I was dying. Like, that's when it takes me over the edge, dude. The humidity and the dog's trying not to die. I'm trying to not. I'm like sweating, and it's ridiculous. I can't stay clean because I can't stay cool. And so it's like sweaty days. Like, it's like, yeah. So, and then trying so hard to manage it or get through it. And it just keeps getting hotter. Like, I'm at the point where, like, okay, either I'm going to buy an APU, or we're going to figure out if this thing's going to work or not. So we're trying the cheapest because it is under warranty. So they are going to see what's going on and fix it. And it will be of no cost to me other than this downtime that I'm sitting here. 6 says I couldn't do an entire winter up north again. And it's rough too, right? Like, it's another stress on for the season. You know what I'm saying? Jackknife says, you better call or they'll forget about you, then randomly decide to call you 3 days after it was fixed. Yeah, that's not going to But okay, you guys are making me nervous. Like I have to call him now. So Snorlord hasn't told me that the truck has moved again or whatever. So I guess I better call him. He may be trying to imply that he sees it still sitting back out in the parking lot. So I'll call and get an update. Snorlord, the mother hen Viking caveman. Yeah, but you know what? I love him for that. And that's why he makes a great safety manager, right? He's definitely the best. Toga says, okay, you better call Saul. So I'll call them, guys. I'll probably leave a short on a shorts update, right? Saying, hey, here's the situation. So be looking out for that because I need to make a couple shorts anyway. So I'll pop one of those up there. So be looking out for that. And thanks for hanging out with me. I think my daughter's going to blow up my phone because she wants to take me out for tacos for lunch. So we're going to try to do that. And I'll keep you posted. All right. It was a bad joke. Toga says. You know what? That's funny because that's one of my favorite shows, though, by the way. I love that show. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hitting the like. Woo-hoo. If you didn't on the way in, please hit it on the way out. And I'll catch you guys again later on today. Peace out. Be safe. God bless you. And I love you.